If you're preparing for disaster recovery, ensuring high availability, or simply want to replicate your data across regions, then it's important to understand replication and failover groups in Snowflake. Hey everyone, Gilberto from Snowflake here. Today, I'm going to cover one of Snowflake's most important business continuity features, replication and failover groups. So I'm going to show you how to set up automated replication and failover, which can keep everything in your Snowflake environment account running, even when something unexpected happens, like an outage. So let's get started. All right, so first things first, what exactly are replication and failover groups in Snowflake? Replication groups sync your account objects across regions or cloud providers. Failover groups give you the ability to promote a secondary region to a primary in the event of an outage. This happens with automatic DNS switching and minimal downtime. Now, remember that replication happens at the account level, so users, roles, warehouses, and other configuration will also be replicated. This means that when you fail over, everything works exactly as it did before. Before I show you how to set this up, let's make sure you have everything you need. First, you're going to need account admin privileges. This is an admin-only feature for security reasons. Second, make sure that the source account and the target account are both Snowflake Business Critical Edition or higher. Keep in mind that by default, you're not able to replicate to accounts of a lower edition, and that's for security reasons. But you can override the setting if you'd like, so check out the docs linked for more information. Finally, make sure that you're able to log into both the source and the target accounts, and make sure that they use the same connection type, typically the public internet. Okay, so I'm signed into Snowflake here. I'm going to navigate to the admin panel in the left sidebar, and then I'm going to click on accounts. And here you can see the active accounts. Now, I've already created a target account in advance, and I've called it target account. We're going to be replicating from this first account, which is the account that I'm currently logged into target account. Now, before I can set up the replication, there's a bit of configuration that needs to happen. So I'm going to go over to a SQL worksheet. And I'm going to run a few SQL commands that are going to enable replication. So let's take a look at the commands. So just a few commands here. The first is to show the accounts. And here you can see basically what I just saw on the admin panel. So you can see that I have 2 accounts. You can see the account names, and you can see that they are both business critical. And what we need to do is we need to execute this statement for each source and target account in the organization. So I've already pre-filled this information out. Right, so the command here, select system, global account set parameter on this account, enabled account database replication true. And I do the same thing for the source account. I've already run these commands in advance, but I'm just going to go ahead and execute them so you can see me running these. And there it is. So now what I can do is navigate to admin, accounts, and this time I'm going to click on replication. Now, what you see here is probably going to depend on your Snowflake edition and current setup. I'm on business critical, and since we want to walk through each step clearly, I'm going to click on add group at the top. All right, so in this modal, I am asked to select a target account, and this is where the replicated data and other configuration is going to live. So I'm going to select my target account. I'm going to be prompted to sign into that target account. So again, make sure you have access to both the source and the target accounts. So I'll click here. So open up a new tab. You can see my sign-in was successful. I'll click on next. And now I'm going to add a name for my replication group. So I'm just going to call this production DR group. And a couple of things to keep in mind here. This name must start with a letter. It can't have any spaces and needs to be unique across all of your groups. Now, this might seem simple, but just make sure you choose something memorable because this is what you'll see in your monitoring dashboards and any other failover scenarios. All right, so here's where I can actually select what can be replicated. So I don't have anything in my source account that I'm going to replicate, but I'm just going to run through this process so you can see what I'm actually able to do. So as an example, just click on roles, databases. I'm just going to select the pre-bundled Snowflake Learning DB database. Again, just for the purposes of demonstration. So I'm going to replicate one role in one database. And then here, I'm going to select my replication frequency. So this is going to be your balance between data freshness and system resources. I'll leave it set to 10 minutes. I think this gives me a reasonable recovery point objective for critical scenarios. And if I expand advanced options here, you'll see that the enable failover option is already selected to true. And so since we're using business critical edition, Snowflake will automatically create a failover group and not just a replication group. So we're going to get both continuous replication and automated failover capabilities. So I'll go ahead and click on create. And you can see that my group was successfully created, and it shows up here in the group section of the replication tab. So the final step is to establish a connection between the accounts. And this is going to be a connection string that I can use for programmatic access to this connection. So I'll click on connections here. I'll add a new connection. Similar kind of flow here. I'll select my target account. Once again, I'll be asked to sign in. Sign in was successful. And I can add a connection name here. So I'm going to type prod dr connection. And again, this is a connection URL that you can use in your Snowflake clients. And I'm going to click on create. Okay, so the connection was created. Again, here's a quick handy way to copy that connection URL if you are going to be using it in your Snowflake clients. I'll click on done. And so now I'll navigate back to groups, and you can see that this new failover group with replication is active and it's listed here. And if you click on it, you'll note that it does say it's a failover group, and that's listed at the top here. Now, additional things that you're able to see about this group are things like the replica lag. So that shows how far behind my target account is from being replicated. And you also can look at the next time that it's going to be refreshed. You can also take a look at the replication status, how much data has been transferred, and all sorts of other things. Now, keep in mind that if you want to fail over, you'll need to sign into your target account, navigate to the same section that you see here on the screen, and if you click on the options there in the target account, there'll be an option for you to click on failover, and that's going to start the failover process. Okay, great. We covered how to create replication and failover groups using the Snowsight UI and how to use SQL commands in case you're operating in a VPC architecture. All of this is incredibly important as you plan for disaster recovery scenarios. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.